unfold the red carpet for Samsung's newest devices. Samsung has launched a bunch of new products at the Galaxy Unpacked 2022 event, including the new Galaxy 5 smartwatch series, the Galaxy Buds 2 Pro 24-bit wireless earphones, and most notably, the latest additions to the Galaxy Z Fold and Flip lines. Say hello to the Galaxy Z Fold 4 and Galaxy Z Flip 4, the company's newest and most advanced foldable phones to date. Although they look pretty much the same as their predecessors, the Galaxy Z Fold 3 and Galaxy Z Flip 3, the new models are supposed to be faster, longer lasting, and of course, smarter. And like Samsung's outgoing foldables, the new ones follow the same form factors as last year's. Unfortunately, that also means you still get a wide crease down the middle where the display folds in half, though it doesn't bother us as much as it does on other foldables. Anyway, let's start with the Galaxy Z Flip 4. Samsung's fashion-forward foldable opens up to become a normal-sized phone with a sizable screen but folds in half, transforming it into a much smaller and more portable device. The back of the phone still sports a dual-camera setup, plus a secondary AMOLED display you can use for notifications, calendar widgets, and taking selfies with the main camera. It looks almost identical to what came before, but then again, that's not a bad thing. The Galaxy Z Flip 3 is a very stylish smartphone after all. Samsung says the new Flip gets an IPX8 water-resistant rating, so you don't have to worry about using it in the rain or near a shower or pool. It also features an armor aluminum frame that is said to offer tougher drop and scratch resistance compared to previous models. Unsurprisingly, the Galaxy Z Flip 4 retains Samsung's flagship dynamic AMOLED 2X panel with a Full HD resolution, 120Hz refresh rate, and very high peak brightness. The cover display, meanwhile, is slightly larger this time around to make it easier for you to read notifications and use it as a viewfinder. Both cameras seem to perform better across a variety of shooting scenarios, but you're limited to just a primary camera and secondary option for ultra-wide and group shots. The selfie cam still sits in a punch hole at the center, but you'll most likely opt for the pair of rear-facing shooters, especially if you need to snap a wide-angle view or group selfie. The battery is also a bit bigger and charges a bit faster on the Flip 4, so that's good to hear. It isn't what we call a huge upgrade, though. For that, you'll have to dig deeper into the specs sheet. True to the leaks, Samsung has opted for Qualcomm's Snapdragon 8 Plus Gen 1 powerhouse 5G chipset to power its newest foldables. This will give the Flip 4 a noticeable speed bump, especially when gaming, over the Snapdragon 888 chip that's used in the Flip 3. So that's a new Flip in a nutshell. It's faster, takes higher quality pictures, and possibly longer lasting than the older model, in a design you know and probably like. Now let's move on to the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 4, the latest entry in Samsung's groundbreaking Galaxy Fold line that started the foldable phones craze back in 2019. The Galaxy Z Fold 4 is a book-style folding phone that can open up to a tablet, making it more ideal for gaming and viewing content than Samsung's clamshell foldable. It's still one of the toughest foldables around, and it might even be the toughest device of its kind, thanks to its aluminum frame and Gorilla Glass Victus Plus protection on the front and back. The Galaxy Z Fold 4 also looks a lot like its predecessor and somewhat like the Oppo Find N, except the latest phone is much taller, has a deep crease, and doesn't fold entirely flat against itself, leaving a noticeable gap between the two halves of the device when closed. It arrives with two displays, with a primary dynamic AMOLED 2X screen coming in at 7.6 inches and the cover panel measuring 6.2 inches diagonally, and featuring a punch hole cutout for one of the selfie cameras. You heard that right! Samsung's near-invisible under-display cam is back on the main display of the Z Fold 4, and it seems to perform surprisingly well compared to what we saw with the Galaxy Z Fold 3. Both screens run on 120Hz refresh rate and boast wider aspect ratios to make it easier for you to type, especially on the secondary display, which was a pain point in last year's model. So even though the screens aren't bigger, faster, or sharper on the Fold 4, they should feel more comfortable for everyday use. Speaking of ease of use, Samsung has improved the user interface of its largest screen phone considerably this year, with the ability to enter split screen mode with just a swipe. In tablet mode, you'll automatically see the new floating talk or quick access toolbar at the bottom of the screen, which is really neat and makes jumping from one app to another quick and convenient. Similar to last year's release, the Galaxy Z Fold4 lets you navigate or write on the screen using the optional S Pen, but you'll need to purchase a separate case that has a chamber for the stylus since the phone doesn't have a dedicated S Pen holster. The battery capacity stays the same more or less, and charging maxes out at 25 watts, unchanged from the previous Gen Fold. But on a more positive note, you'll likely see better battery life thanks to the Z Fold4's newer and more frugal 4nm chipset. As for the rear-facing setup, the phone packs triple cameras with dedicated lenses for zoom and wide-angle shots. Samsung says camera performance is a key focus this year, so we expect great results from its latest foldable. And that's it for our preview of the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold4 and Galaxy Z Flip 4. We'll continue to cover more of Samsung's latest offerings, so please go to our website at review.com.ph for more details, including local pricing and availability.